Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video. Okay, you also calling Allred and Cruz uh, debate. That was absolutely awesome. Colin did a great job. I love the fact that they are able to point out um, their policy without being scared. And you also the look on Ted Cruz's eyes. I love it for him. So let's continue. So I also stormed on videos about Mexican Americans saying that they are going to vote for the other person. Why? Because they are going to be at peace with him, right? And they were asked, what if they send some of your family members home because the other person is anti-immigration? And they said, I have so many cousins that are here and they are like, they do not have their documents, but I will be fine if they send them back home, right? So, and the other one also is a supporter, and his family, his kids are being threatened for playing with their neighbor's kids, who is also supporter, firing Pe0ple in the air. So people are going to learn the hard way. You all remember how what happened in Florida, and they called Black people to come and speak up for them because it is not in their nature to speak out. Black people are the mad ones. Let's get into this.
Y'all want to see a dead body? Colin Allred and Ted Cruz over in Texas, they had a debate. And Colin Allred handed Ted Cruz his bootay from the beginning to the end. Full transparency, I didn't watch the debate. I knew the debate was going to happen. I waited for the highlights. Here are a few favorite moments that I've come across.
This is a desperate, last-second attempt by Senator Cruz to distract you because he can't defend his own record. Listen, I'm a dad. I'm a Christian. Of course, I don't support these ridiculous things that he's talking about. But what he wants you thinking about is kids in bathrooms, so you're not thinking about women in hospitals. Because it's indefensible.
Right.
It's indefensible that we have Texas women being turned away from hospitals, bleeding out in their cars, in waiting rooms, being found by their husbands. So all of a sudden, and this is a good one, all of a sudden, the protector of women and girls is going to be Senator Cruz, who thinks it's perfectly reasonable that if a girl is raped by a relative of hers, a victim of incest, that she should be forced to carry that child to term and give birth to it.
Right.
You think that's perfectly reasonable, but now you're going to set yourself up as a protector of women and girls? It's laughable. And listen, he's trying to distract you because what can you run on? I've never seen somebody who runs for office on what he hasn't done. He's been one of the least productive senators in the entire country. And you know that. I talk to Texans all the time who say, I can't think of anything Ted Cruz has done to help me in my life. When I'm your senator, I'll keep focused on the issues that matter to you, on lowering your costs, on securing the border, on restoring a woman's right to choose. That's what I'll be focused on.
I don't know if you saw it, but I saw it, and I saw it with each clip that I'm going to share with you. The moment that Colin Allred starts his response, starts his answer, Ted Cruz has this smug, arrogant look on his face, this stupid smile on his face. But the more that Colin speaks, that smile goes away because he knows that Colin is handing him his ass. Check this out.
Congressman, you have 90 seconds to respond.
Oh, that was really something. I have to say, you can't be for the mob on January 6th and for the officers. You can't. And it's not funny because you're a threat to democracy.
That little laughter, that little snickering, it's to demean what it is that Colin Allred is saying. It is sending a subliminal message that whatever Colin Allred is saying, you can't take it seriously. It's a joke, right? And Colin put him in his place. It's not funny. You're a threat to democracy. But there's more.
The Question. This is personal for me. My family's from Brownsville. My grandfather was a customs officer there. He joined the Customs Department in 1939. It's where my mom and my aunt were born and raised and where I spent a lot of my childhood. And I know that our border communities are real places where folks are trying to raise their families and get ahead. But time and again, Senator Cruz treats our border communities like he's going on some kind of a safari. He comes down, he puts on his outdoor clothes, he tries to look tough, and he goes back to Washington and does nothing to help. In fact, he does worse than nothing. When the toughest border security bill in a generation came up in the United States Senate, $20 billion for border security, he said, we don't need a border bill. That's what he said. And, listen, this is a pattern for him. He's never there for us when we need him. When the lights went out in the energy capital of the world, he went to Cancun. On January 6th, when a mob was storming the Capitol, he was hiding in a supply closet. And when the toughest border security bill in a generation came up in the United States Senate, he took it down. We don't have to have a senator like this. Let me be very clear. I believe in physical barriers as part of a comprehensive strategy to secure the border. We had a bill for $20 billion for 1,000 new Border Patrol agents, for more immigration judges, more asylum officers to help us deal with the backlog. I wanted to make sure we passed that. When I'm in the Senate, we will. And we'll also fix our broken legal immigration system. Senator Cruz has had forever, and he's done nothing to solve this problem. Why would we believe that he will?
It's crazy. It's so crazy that these races are so close. When you watch these debates, you have Democrats standing up in front of the camera talking about policy, talking about what they were able to do, talking about what it is that they want to do. Clearly and concisely are explaining their policies. You don't get that from Republicans. You get Republicans talking about issues at the border, issues that they had the opportunity to fix that they chose not to fix. They want it to remain a problem so that they can use the problem to garner votes. You don't hear them talking about policies like healthcare. You don't hear them talking about infrastructure, how they're going to rebuild our roads. You don't hear them talking about taxes and how they're going to use tax dollars, or how they're going to give tax cuts to those who need it the most. You don't hear them talking about abortion care for women. You don't hear them talking about these issues. They always fall back on one issue, the border, to which they chose not to fix. Well, here's the knockout punch.
Senator, that's your time. Congressman, 90 seconds for a response. Well, listen, it's time to finally tell the truth here. Senator Cruz just looked into a camera and lied to Texans about my position. Let's be very clear. You should look into the camera and speak to Kate Cox, who's watching right now, and explain to her why you said that this law that you said is perfectly reasonable, why she was forced to leave her 2 children behind and flee our state to get the care that she needed. Or look into the camera and talk to Amanda Zarowski, who's watching right now, and explain to her why it's perfectly reasonable that because she had a complication in her pregnancy and was denied care so long that she may never be able to have children of her own. Or to the 26,000 Texas women who have been forced to give birth to their rapist child under this law that you called perfectly reasonable. It's not. This is not freedom. I trust Texas women to make their own healthcare decisions. Allie and I have had 2 baby boys here in Dallas in the last 5 years. You're scared the entire time. You don't know what they're going to say. But I can't imagine if the doctor would come in, said there's a problem with the baby or a problem with Allie, but there's nothing I can do because Ted Cruz thinks he knows better. That's not who we are as Texans. When I'm in the United States Senate, we'll restore a woman's right to choose. We'll make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. And we'll make these stories of seeing these horrific experiences going on all over our state something of the past. That's my commitment to Texans.
Colin Allred came ready to fight, and Colin Allred came ready to win this fight. Texas, it's clear to me. I'm just looking at Ted Cruz and his record and how he has behaved as a representative for your state over the past 6 years. That alone would be enough for me to vote against him. But Colin Allred has more than proven that he would be a good representative for you, your issues, and your state. I'm Team Colin Allred.
You can't be for the mob on January 6th and for the officers. You can't. And it's not funny. Because you're a threat to democracy. I remember when you objected to the results in Arizona. I know where I was and I know where he was. I remember when they told us to reach under our seats for these gas masks. And I texted my wife, Allie, who was 7 months pregnant with our son, Cameron, and at home with our son, Jordan, who wasn't yet 2. Whatever happens, I love you. I took off my suit jacket and I was prepared to defend the House floor from the mob. After he'd been the architect of the attempt to overthrow that election, when that mob came, Senator Cruz was hiding in a supply closet. And that's okay. I don't want him to get hurt by the mob. I really don't.
Oh my God, that was fucking fantastic. The way Colin Allred destroyed Ted Cruz on that debate for that seat. So much to fucking unpack. First off, I'm finally happy that somebody exposed him for the weak, spineless coward that he is. Because while Colin Allred was getting ready to fight against the fucking mob and these insurrectionists out there, Eddie Munster Ted Cruz was hiding in a fucking closet. How fucking embarrassing. What can you expect from the guy that Trump basically swept the floor with? You know how long Trump has been talking shit about that poor bastard? Even about his family and his wife, and he doesn't even defend them. He's so fucking weak. So I'm not surprised at all. Listen, people of Texas, you need a guy like Allred that doesn't run when things get tough, when the power goes out, when hurricanes hit, and the fucking grid fails everybody. You need a man who cares about bodily autonomy, about women, who has his own kids, and who understands that women should have the right to determine what to do with their own fucking bodies in Texas and not Ted Cruz. I hope you're finally done and had enough with this spineless stupid ass. Get rid of that guy. He's fucking useless. And he's a coward as well. How convenient to hide from the insurrectionists from the mob that you called punk ass bitch. They are in there.
You're a Mexican American. Yes. What do you think about Trump's border policy?
I love it. I love it. I'm 100% for it.
Do you know anybody that can cross the border without applying for green card?
Oh yes. Unfortunately, I have family members that did. Cousins, nephews, nieces.
Because those people might be deported if Donald Trump wins.
That's okay. That's okay.
How long have they been here for?
We have a saying in Puerto Rico, son ratones de ferretería. They are mice living in a hardware store. If they can't eat the nails, they'll pee on them so nobody can use them. And that's how a lot of these Latino Trump supporters are. It's all about them and their own pocket, but fuck everybody else. Right after they crossed the border, they looked to the back and was like, sorry, bitch. Bro, these people are evil. But the worst part is that they don't realize that they're tokens. And like any other fucking token, they're gonna get spent by their counterparts. And they're not even their counterparts. They're white supremacists. They are on the top of that fucking pole. And you yahoos are in the bottom. But when they start treating you like shit and not inviting your children to the parties that they're gonna throw because you're less than them, then you're gonna figure out that you are not the fucking same. It's gonna take you a while. It's gonna take you a little bit to realize that. Pero ustedes chorro de coco, you little coconuts out there, you're gonna realize that you're not as white as you think. You'll see. I'm giving you all the information that you need to learn and know. But some of you Latino Trump supporters just don't want to listen. This is what you get. That's a Cuban Trump supporter. What a fucking shocker. And his name is Angel Rodriguez. He lives in Texas. In a neighborhood, of course, full of Trumpers, because that's fucking Texas for you. And now he's making a public pleading and a video because his children are trying to play with the children across the street that are the children of Trump supporters. And the Trump supporters are not letting them play together. To the point where they've threatened them, and one of them pulled a gun and started shooting in the middle of the air to scare the children off. But those are your friends. Those are your homies. Those are the Trump supporters that you love. You're in a community full of them and you wanted to hang out with them and break bread with them. So if you want to vote for white supremacy and you want to support these people, then you have to deal with them not wanting you. You are roaches for raid. I've been telling you this for the past 2 fucking years, but none of you want to fucking listen. And now you're suffering. Go watch his video. It's in Spanish if you can understand it. Pero vayan y mírenlo. You just don't learn. None of you learn. To the point where you're willing to risk your own life to belong and receive that white, coveted white jacket. But you're not white. You're not them. You're not them. And then the worst part is that you call the police and the police doesn't want to help you either. And they're telling you, you deal with that shit. He's literally saying in his video how the police isn't helping him either. And the police is telling him that the neighbors can file charges on him because they are defending their property. That's Texas for you. That's racism for you. That's Donald Trump supporters for you. That's what you get. You created this. You made that comfy little bed for yourself. And now you're gonna fucking sit on it. Ahora te quedas ahí como buen pendejo que eres y te quedas ahí a dormir por chupatranca que eres. Lick on that one. Those are the bricks. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Que tenga buen día.
So this is all I got from this video, and the truth is that Colin Allred, right, did a great job, and I love the fact that one thing I love about them is that they are actually very precise when it comes to their policy, right? And that is absolutely great. And the truth is that I mean, this debate has really also opened so many people's eyes to at least understand the kind of people they voted in and the ones that are also vying for the position. And I really do not understand how somebody is dictating how somebody should, you are a woman, you know your body better, and why somebody have to dictate what happens to your body. I really do not understand that, but I am going to keep that aside, right? And you all already know that this election is fast approaching. I love it. I love the fact that it is very close by because it's been months of ups and going forward and back. I don't know if it's really not a great period so far because it's been from one headache to another, from one top discussion to another, and how they made everything about race. Okay, they said everything is not about race, but they absolutely made everything about race. So I really do look forward to the end of this election, to the end of it. Now let's get into the people that have decided, the Latinos or the Cruz people that have decided that they will also vote against their own interests because some people are really amazing, Mexican Americans are just some people that I really do not understand. Not just only them, there are also a lot of people, but there are some things that you see, that man, this is not a go area, and you have to withdraw. But for them, I don't know if some of them, I don't know if it's not being, some of them are enlightened. Let me not use that they are not enlightened. They are enlightened, but just some people's mindset is just crazy, like the people, like their leader, And it is amazing how somebody chose to vote for this person and also forfeit his cousins that are she said, I have so many families that are here and they are, they are not documented or something like that, right? But she is going to vote for him. So if it means them going back home, let them go back home. Let them go back home so I can vote for who I want to vote. I don't know, but it is crazy. And that also reminds me of what happened in Florida last year, right? When Ron DeSantis told them, okay, they were also the ones that voted for Ron DeSantis, right? And Ron DeSantis said that if I see you all again in Florida, I am sending you all back home. And they cleared in Florida. And then ended up coming on the internet to tell Black people to come out and speak up for them. And Black people told them, you are going to sit this particular 1 hour. And that is also how all of them will sit this one. I mean, if anything goes wrong. because what is going on? Why would you see your family going through a tough time and you also want like, they are probably drowning and you are pouring water on them? What does it mean? It means just go in peace. That is what it is. But it doesn't make any sense. And the other one, they are also supporter. And they use people to threaten them. It's really funny, but yeah, it is what it is. Love story, beautiful stories with great ending. You all really have to wake up. Forget that I am smiling. It is not a good smile. You all have to wake up and do the needful. Stop doing eye service, because what some people do is eye service. First of all, your home first before any other person. I have to put my home in order before coming out to put another person's home in order. So I hope you all do the same. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.